Welcome back to another live and amplified Indie Fusion podcast. I'm your host, Tom Quiet, and we are back at it again with another amazing podcast. We are here live at Jam down by the river at Mountain Breeze Campgrounds. We have Anna Lamar rejoining us.
Hey.
We have Nick. It's not a repeat episode. Well, kind of it is, but Anna didn't really get the chance to talk on the last episode, so figured we'd bring her back in and chat a little bit. So how's everything been going?
Everything's good. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. This will be my third time here at Jam, so second time playing, so I'm stoked to be back.
Awesome. I know you spent a lot of time out in the East Coast this summer, right? In North Carolina?
Yeah, I was in North Carolina for about almost 3 months. It wasn't intentional, but I'm really glad it happened. I used to live there when I was younger, and my car kind of broke down while I was there, and then I had a friend pass away, and there's a couple things that happened all at the same time, and so I landed up just staying there for 3 months. I got a band together up there, played a bunch of gigs, and it was really nice. It was really nice just reconnecting with everybody up there. So
fair.
Yeah.
You know, I saw you go up there, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I thought maybe you moved up there because I kept seeing you post about like North Carolina or being in North Carolina and stuff. I was like, oh, maybe she left Texas, and I just missed that.
No. I'm Austin based still. Hey, buddy. And this is great. See, totally different episode.
Right?
There's a dog in this one.
See, the dog knows where the camera is. He knows exactly where to sit.
Look, he knows it's a soul stealer.
Right? That's so funny. That looks like my sister's dog, kind of.
He's beautiful.
Nice.
I know. I felt him first and I looked. I was like, oh, my goodness. But yeah, no, North Carolina is just, it is an emotional home, and it's a place I do want to spend more time in moving forwards. But I'm technically an Austin, Texas based lady. So yeah.
Nice. And how's it feel to be back in Texas?
It's been really good. It's been, I basically got down here for a couple of days and then went straight down to Big Bend. And now we're going to go on tour for almost the equivalent of a month and a half, something like that, all together, which is awesome. So I get to go all around Texas, which is going to be great. So yeah.
Nice. So you're going north, south, east, west, all the fun directions. And
yeah.
You're doing it at a good time because normally December it's cool, but the weather's not too bad.
No, and we will be in Big Bend in early December. Yeah. So I'm curious to see how the weather's going to hold up for that one. I was there in February when a freeze came in, and that was not fun.
The one from 2021?
It was, no, this past year. There was just a freeze that hit like the Big Bend area, and it was super cold.
Fair.
And the house I was put up in didn't have windows. So, but that's another story for another time.
I think we need to make that this story. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just remember the one from 2021 that just affected all of Texas.
I was in Houston for that.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
I was telling a friend of mine like what we were going through, and she's from Guatemala or something, and she's like, that's like the shit that my family in Guatemala is going through on a daily basis.
Wow.
It's like just grabbing water from anywhere you can and then boiling out the bugs or germs or whatever. Yeah. But no, that was a interesting interview in and of itself because it was literally like the day after I got water back.
Oh yeah.
And so it was just like telling her all these different stories, and it was like,
yeah, it was nuts.
Bad. So what? Obviously, you're leaving on tour. What's the dates on those?
So our first, we're gonna do a live stream on Monday, this coming Monday, and then we start to actually hit venues coming on Tuesday. So we have a number of places we're going, but to start, we're gonna be at the Pigpen in San Antonio this Tuesday. We'll be at Hotel Turkey in Turkey, Texas, with Gold Pine on Thursday, and then we're going to be in Lockhart and Somerset through the weekend.
Nice.
So Lockhart will be at
the Blue Pearl.
At the Blue Pearl.
And Somerset's Cactus Country Kitchen. Nice. Wonderful place.
And you were explaining it earlier, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a Native American owned and operated. The owner is Comanche. Her name's Jacqueline Moya, and it's a really beautiful place she has down there with lots of art and kind of an old-timey feel, and there'll be Native American vendors. There'll also be 2 Native American Plains, I think they call themselves, band, like in the Plains Indian style. And one of the guys, his name's Mo, he was involved in the music for the Killers of the Flower Moon, the Scorsese film.
Yeah.
And he's just, really amazing player and singer, and
Nice.
would be worth checking out. So they'll be on at 10 a.m. Anna's on at noon,
Mm-hmm.
and Righteous
Daytime.
is on at 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's next Sunday.
27th,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys going to jump into a sweat lodge while you're there, or?
We actually have been
That's
doing
nice.
sweat lodges down there. There's a lot of native people down there.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
Nice. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. It's really cool that you guys are getting to see parts of Texas that most Texans probably don't even really know that they're there.
Yeah, we've got some of the shows that we're really excited about, like at the Mucky Duck and Dan Electros and stuff that we're stoked about in Houston and other venues. But there's places like Camp Street Cafe in Crockett. Have you been there?
No,
Oh
I
man, it's awesome. It's part of the Blues Trail, and it's where Lightning Hopkins used to
Oh, wow.
play.
Yeah.
And the guy Pip who bought Camp Street, it's like the old building that used to be the barbershop and venue that he used to play in, and he commissioned a statue across the street for him, and it's like still in it's the old wood,
Yeah.
and you could just imagine how many people were like singing and dancing there over the years. I'm really excited about that one.
Nice.
So there's places like that are really cool.
I didn't know the Blues Trail came into Texas like that.
Yeah, it may not be on the like official one. I think it is,
Yeah.
but it may not be on that. But that's where the blues players and kind of the route started, was down there that way
Yeah.
and stuff. And I was reading some of the history of it. I don't remember it all off the top of my head, but it was super interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was in Tallahassee, we were right on the Blues Trail. There was a old venue that, well, not old venue. It's still up and running, but they had all the blues musicians. I would hear stories from local musicians that have lived there for their entire lives. It's like, oh yeah, so and so would be here. The big story always was, I don't know if you're a baseball fan, but Andre Dawson used to play baseball across the street during the summertime when he was a kid, and it's like, okay, that's, and so just kind of like the historical relevance to Black history, and then like the Blues Trail in and of itself is.
You can feel in that place. I'm so excited for you guys to together. It's like you can feel the like history in there. It's special. So yeah, it's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. And so where are you kind of at musically right now? Obviously, I think you just got done doing a writing session out in, you said you're out in Big Bend?
Yeah, I was. So I went down to Alpine and Marfa and Terlingua for a number of gigs. But I also spent 5 days out in Chinati Hot Springs, which is super West Texas desert. It's like west of Marfa and of
Did you go to the
Big
Prada
Bend.
store?
What's that?
Did you go to the Prada store?
Nah.
No?
It's a little out of my price range. But
I don't even know if it's an actual store. I think.
I don't think it. When you see the photo, it's like
Yeah.
all the same boot back there. I'm
Yeah.
like, unless they sell one pair of shoes,
Right.
I don't know.
I
Not
don't
sure.
think so, but yeah.
Yeah. But there's a songwriter retreat. There's a singer-songwriter out of Austin named Johann or Jay Wagner, and he hosts a songwriter retreat called Crooked Crow. And I was there with 30 other singer-songwriters. We had no cell reception. We learned all these kind of tools and tricks. I did it last year as well. I loved it. It kind of opens your brain to accepting kind of music and magic and writing around you in a very different way than you're used to. And it was great. So I got some songs out of that, but I got a lot of starters and a lot of just ideas out of it, and kind of, what's the word? I was like ADHD. I'm like, anyway, inspiration from that. And then moving forwards, I've got about 5 singles that are getting ready to start getting released.
Nice.
So we're really close to that. I'm just getting a couple back of house things in order first, but super close.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I've always enjoyed your music. When we met each other for the first time officially last year, and
Yeah.
it's been a real joy getting to listen to your music over the last year and
Thank
just
you.
kind of diving into everything that makes you you. So,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Um,
One of the singles is also from Ice Cream Factory Studios, where they did theirs with Matt, and which was amazing. So he's in Austin, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How's it feel, or how's Austin been treating you just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Austin. I really like the community there. I like that I can find amazing music and really kind, open-hearted songwriters and
Yeah.
musicians. It is relatively hard to gig there, especially as a solo singer-songwriter. I have a hard time with it, so I land up gigging outside of the city a lot more than gigging inside of it. But the city itself takes really good care of its musicians, and the community is really strong, and I love that. And so I'm perfectly happy with that arrangement for myself. So yeah.
Is 6th Street as bad as everybody says it is?
I can't tell you the last time I was on 6th Street.
Okay, fair enough. I just keep hearing all these horror stories from people that I don't really know, but you know, they just keep talking about how bad 6th Street is.
Well, and I'm pretty new to Austin, to be fair. I've been staying down on the south side, closer to like Sam's Town Point and stuff, which is more my speed anyway. So, yeah.
Fair. I'm trying to figure out what the next move is, and so it's like it's Austin, it's Nashville, and then every once in a while somebody from like left field will come in and be like, "Hey, have you considered this?"
Yeah.
Like I had somebody from Oklahoma, "Have you considered Tulsa?" And I'm like, "Yeah, when I was in like college I did, but I don't know."
Go hang out with John Fulbright there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So, no, that's really cool. How was the trip back from North Carolina? Did you tour back, or did you just kind of drive straight back?
So Americana Fest was happening in Nashville as I was driving down, and so I gave myself the week to kind of just hang out.
Yeah.
I hadn't booked any gigs. I was actually supposed to be abroad for a college reunion, but I didn't have my dog care lined up in time, and it was too expensive, and a bunch of stuff happened, so I couldn't quite make that. But I made Americana Fest, and that was really fun. So I was there, and then just kind of came down. I did a gig in New Orleans with my friend Nicole, who will be here this weekend. She's a fiddle player and a singer-songwriter and guitarist. She has her own band called Cast Iron Shoes.
Okay.
So she and I did a gig together in New Orleans, and then came back straight to Austin and straight to the Southwest Regional Folk Alliance,
Nice.
which was 4 days of not sleeping, but a lot of fun. So
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm just getting to that point where I have to sleep at some point. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
yeah, no,
That's-
it's important.
This weekend's gonna really push those boundaries because I know who's like next to me and around me, and it's like, oh boy, here we
I've
go.
got some magnesium if you need. It helps.
Well, I figure if I get drunk enough, I'll just
Or get drunk enough. Yep, that works.
I'll just kind of pass out. You know? No, that's really cool. So just kind of after you wrap up this tour, you said it wraps up the end of December, right?
Just before Christmas. Yeah.
Just
Oh,
before.
yeah, like middle of December.
Yeah.
We kind of have the last 2 weeks
14th.
of. Yeah.
December 14th?
Yeah.
Something like that.
We have the last 2 weeks of November and December off, basically. So we cap
Yeah.
kind of around there. And then I'm actually I'm going to do a couple of things at the beginning of the year, but I think I'm going to work on a lot of back of house stuff that
Yeah.
all these singles need to work on. And I've got some, I got a grant from the city of Austin,
Nice.
which I'm really excited about. And so I'm going to start figuring out how to use that appropriately. So I'm probably going to not be on the road very much in January and February. And I'll just,
They're testing drums.
Testing
they're
drums.
Sound checking drums.
I was like, if you see any movie in your life, this is the sound that happens before everything goes to hell.
right.
Something bad is
Something
about
bad is
to
about
happen.
Yeah.
I was just preparing for the Jurassic Park or something.
You know, scary thing is what Dustin came to the apartment, was on the podcast in I think it was like June or something. And we were talking about how the dam is right here. And we're talking about shit going to hell. We were talking about the dam going right here and how dams have a tendency to
Break.
Yes.
It did blow, right? Like 20 years ago, something.
You're good. Come on.
I think it has before.
Yeah.
Well, I wish y'all had told me this at the end of the weekend. Gee, I'm down by. I just put my tent down by the river.
Oh, you're fine.
Ugh.
You're fine. You got a little bit of a runway.
Fine.
You have an air mattress? Because that's
I'll just float on the air mattress. Yes, I do.
That's funny. Catch Anna just floating down the river.
Just be like, I don't have a paddle, but I'm safe.
You're good. You're good. And the scene from The Parent Trap where you're just kind of floating in the middle of the river and you don't realize it. You've seen the Disney?
The original or the you're talking about?
No, the one that came out in like '97 or
You're
whatever.
talking about the Lindsay Lohan version.
Yes.
I'm a Haley Mills girl.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
They're both. No, Haley Mills is better, but that one was good too. I just don't remember it as much.
Yeah. No, there was a scene where they were trying to get rid of the stepmom or whatever,
Oh.
and they drug her air mattress out into the lake.
The
and
lake, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I
no,
just
can remember
imagine that scene playing out. So
That is something that would happen to me. That's the reality, though. It's like, I'd be like, oh, I'd tell my best friend, she'd be like, well, that sounds like you. Never mind. That's fine. She
Fair.
wouldn't even be surprised.
awesome. And then so outside of music, what have you been getting into?
Therapy. No, well, yeah, also. I don't know. I've just been doing a lot of reading and sleeping. And I mean, I'm on the road so much. I don't really have all that much time for other things, which I'm trying to make sure I create that balance. But when I was in North Carolina, I was hiking a lot, which was really nice. And cooking a lot. I love food and sharing food, so that's a big thing. I want to get a garlic tattoo right here.
Nice.
It's like the base of all food sharing. It's very important. That was my word of the year during New Year's. Yeah, reading. I just picked up a book. I'm gonna keep getting the name wrong, but it's not Killers of the Flower Moon, but I think it's something, maybe Killers of the Summer Moon.
Okay.
And it's a history of the Comanche tribe in Texas and around. It's a really intense book, but it's so interesting. And I'm not from Texas.
Yeah.
So I've only been here since just before COVID hit, and so that means like 2 years of not learning anything because you're stuck. And I find Texas and Texan people to be really interesting and very different from what any outsider would tell you.
Yeah.
And it's been a really nice, so I've been trying to like pick up books to kind of understand like the emotion, the heart a little bit. And so I've already feel like I've learned a ton just by reading a part of that book. It's interesting. Yeah.
Since I've moved here, I've been studying very aggressively the Branch Davidian Waco siege.
The what?
The Waco siege.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I've watched every documentary that there currently is, every recreation show that Paramount Plus decides it wants to put out, and I'm now diving into books and
Your family-friendly government here to save you all.
Yes, actually, I actually have clips on my computer because it's
cool.
We did it's the TV station I work for. We did an anniversary for, what was it, the 30th or whatever it was. We did a news special, and they're like, here's all the footage, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to just leave this sitting anywhere. It's going in a special place.
Cool.
So
yeah, the history is really interesting. I got moved around growing up all over, and I missed a lot of standard classes and retook a lot of standard classes. And so American history is one that I really missed out on a lot of. And and the history classes I did have, I had the worst teachers in the world. I just became a stubborn jerk to all of them, and I never learned anything. And I wish I had, because I realize I am a history buff. I'm just really late to the game. So there's a lot of,
So did you not have any history classes at all, or was it?
I did, but they were more, they might have been like overarching American, very light, or they were a European, international, kind of just world history stuff.
Yeah.
And, every school and state and country has like slightly different variations on the way that they like to teach it. And so I think I missed physics the whole time too as well.
It'd be kind of cool to sit through a European taught version of like World War II or something.
Yeah.
Just kind of get like what the Europeans think happened, or how they perceive what happened,
or like somebody who was on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had a few people from Germany that tell me about that, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. Like, because for the most part, they don't even really talk about a lot of it. Like,
a lot of them are they're too. There's a lot of embarrassment still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's interesting. I'd be really interested to kind of sit in a class and just be like, how would you address World War II?
Yeah.
So it's odd that's like the tent pole for a lot of history classes is like World War II.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I feel like I know more about World War II but I also I really like military and like historical films, and there's so many good ones about World War II.
Yeah.
So it's like I know more just inherently because of all the films I've watched. And
yeah.
Not to say that information is correct, but at least it's closer.
Hey, I was watching Midway last night, so.
Which one?
Midway.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Or the old one?
Both. I was watching the old one a couple nights ago, and then last night, because the new one was on like Freevee or something, it was on one of the free movie channels. I was like, yeah, let's watch the new one. And
they're both awesome.
Yeah. Oh, they are. And then Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor's a good one. Well, not really.
You mean the Josh Hartnett one?
Yeah.
Have you seen Letters from Iwo Jima, or its companion film? They both were done by Clint Eastwood. It's like from the American side, and then from the Japanese side.
I think I saw that years ago.
It's outstanding.
Yeah, I need to rewatch that. Yeah.
Worth it.
I was watching to change it up. I was watching 1917, the World War I. That one was really good. I want to see more like World War I stuff, because I feel like the stories are going to be a little bit more gruesome. Like I've seen the Vietnam stuff. I don't need any more Vietnam movies. I don't need like World War II. There's like so many battles I think you could like circle a movie around that. You could probably milk World War II for a while, but World War I, let's jump into it.
Tons of material there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Or let's break out another Patriot movie and do revolutionary stuff. And
We need more pirates too, to be honest.
Always more pirates. I never get sick of pirate movies.
Yeah, we need
ever.
more.
I just watched that. What was the one about the guys that go to Japan? The Spaniards. The Spaniard who goes to Japan. There was a '70s version, and now there's like a Shogun.
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 oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a really good show.
It's
They did a great
interesting.
job.
Yeah.
Wonderful job.
I like looking these ones which are recreations, and so most of it is not technically like never happened.
Yeah.
But then I can go on my Google machine while it's happening, and I look up the actual history while I'm watching it. So it kind of like pairs with that.
He was a prisoner of war too, the author of that.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
There's a story where when he got home, for months he was still digging through trash cans looking for food. Like he couldn't get it out of his system,
Wow.
But really interesting guy.
Nice. Well, welcome to the Historical Channel podcast.
Well, it's actually that ties really back.
That's like all I do. Is
Well, it's
I
yeah.
have a World War I song, and I have
Nice.
several World War II songs. I have several massacre songs, Texas, massacres.
Yeah.
I'm into it for sure.
What was do you remember the name of the town I sent you that video for the other day? The trains that collided.
Oh yeah, Crush.
Crush.
Nice.
Crush, Texas.
Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't.
There's a town in Texas called Crush, and then this guy was like, I think it'd be fun to invite a bunch of people to the town, and we'll just crash 2 trains into each other. And a bunch of people died. Like, the boilers exploded.
Yeah,
And then
poor-
the town only existed for 1 day. Like, yeah. And so I sent it to
Really
him.
interesting.
All right.
And
he's
you
like-
brought up Waco. There's a guy, Kevin, who owns Liberty Tree Tavern in Elgin.
Yeah.
And he gave us an idea for a song, the Waco incident.
Yeah.
And the chorus we have is going to be, "We're your family-friendly government."
Yeah.
We've come for you.
Yeah.
So we got an idea going on
Nice.
Cool.
I've always wanted to see a like a Waco Siege type thing, like song. I think that would be really
this.
cool.
I don't know if I've heard one, so
Yeah.
that would be really good.
I know. I'm sure if anybody's done it, I think there was one of the survivors that was like a drummer or something, and so I'm sure if anybody has a Waco Siege song, he might have one in his back pocket. so.
Yeah.
But,
Man, that's all. I think that's something that like you do a much better job at focusing on it, but I think one thing that like we definitely have in common is that like finding a cool story like in specific and like kind of just digging in and making a song out of it, which is why I love so many of your songs. It's like there's
You did it with Sweet Lydia.
Sweet Lady of Vance, yeah.
good.
It's about a lady undertaker of old Texas. I
Oh, wow.
read a book on the undertaker women. Like
Right.
this one lady like moved to Big Bend and then her husband died. It was at the Springs where you're supposed to heal you, and she's like, well, I'm here. And everybody else is bringing their people that may or may not die. So she just became an undertaker. I was like, it's good.
Job security.
Job security.
when in Rome, right?
Death in Texas.
Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Awesome. Well, really appreciate you jumping on here, and
Thanks, Tom.
if anybody wants to check out the tour, shows, music, all that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, so I'm on all the social media platforms. I have a website, so AnnaLamare.com. That's LAMARE. So La Mare, basically, but like a horse, but Mare, because you're Italian. And I've got, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I've got a Substack where I blog and I send out kind of updates to everybody, which is really fun.
Nice.
And then I'll have the singles, be posting about those as soon as those come up. And then the tour is also on there with all of our dates around Texas. So definitely check them out. They're on Bands in Town and all the other places too.
Thanks to you.
Oh,
Some
thanks.
bands.
Got you.
Fair. I've been trying to figure out Substack. I just don't have the time to like continually.
I don't do it on a schedule because Genius has no schedule. No, I'm kidding. No, because it's hard. It's hard to do those bigger posts.
Yeah.
So I try to just like hone it in here and there, but I'm trying not to just all have it be updates, but also
Yeah.
like do some poems, do
Right.
some music stuff, mix it up.
Nice.
So
I've been playing around with the idea of like taking the transcripts of our interviews and just like, hey, throwing it into ChatGPT and just be like, hey,
yeah.
break this down into like a Substack article. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. That's cool. Actually, yeah.
But even then, it's just like that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Like it sounds very easy, but it's like, oh well, then I gotta like transcribe the interview, and then I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and then
You can just hire somebody on Upwork. I've done that before.
see, I have a love-hate relationship for Upwork
I get
because
that. Me too.
I used to freelance on there, and people like use and abuse you, and it's just
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
it's terrible. But
Yeah.
anyways, anybody on Upwork needing a freelancer, I'm here for. No, I'm just kidding. But once again, thank you so much. I really
Thanks,
appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you all later.